everyone, Loida BC in Southern California, coming back with another video today. Obviously, you see who I have next to me, the BC from TBC, Bryan. And we wanted to make this video to share with you a few tips on maybe things that you can do if you are an agent currently working with buyers. So we're going to touch on working with buyers in a seller's market, because we all know that pretty much everywhere in the country, it's currently a seller's market. Properties are flying off the shelves. Buyers are fighting for these homes. I mean, we're seeing ridiculous offers, appraisal, contingencies removed. Yep. So anyway, in this video, we're going to touch on a few things. Bryan's going to share his input. I'm going to share my input. So stay tuned. So let's begin with the very popular question. I've been getting it a lot frequently. I'm pretty sure that you have too. Is Bryan, you know what? I'm working with buyers. How can I make sure that I write the best offer to stand out, especially when there's multiple offers?
Yeah. One thing you said earlier is homes are flying off the shelves. So literally you can go to Costco now and buy a house. I just thought it was funny that you said that. Yeah. Okay, from an offer standpoint, right? I can highlight some stuff and then you can add. Look, in the end right now, you have to look at it on a sliding scale. I know, like, if I have a cash buyer, they're at the top. Conventional buyer right below that, and then an FHA buyer at the very bottom. A lot of times we actually, to position the buyer better before even writing the offer, we will arrange or push our FHA clients to go conventional. So they go higher up on the list, right? So that's something you definitely want to look at in regards to your qualifying of people that you're going to work with. The people who are, you know, barely scraping it out at your average price point, right? Tell them to hold off. Now is not the time.
Exactly.
So you're looking at two scenarios here, right? In regards to this first point that I made. One is people who are using homes now for the purpose of both living and working, and then people who are along with this mass exodus. A lot of people are moving out of bigger cities, either inland or to different states, in order to be able to get more for their money, right? So that's increasing competition. And so is the first point too, because now people will think more ahead and long term in regards to buying a home and being okay paying over asking price. Just like, let's say, you know, me, you guys know I'm moving and I'm going from California to Florida. Well, if I have to pay 10 or 20,000 over asking price at a lower price point there, it's not a big deal, versus maybe to a local it is, right? So those are just some things to keep in mind in regards to pushing those FHA buyers to go conventional if possible, okay? Some other things. Well, communicate with the agent, right? A lot of times the offers that we get, like one of the listings that you just got, we're getting offers and they're not even talking to us. One of the calls that I heard, the agent's like, you know, who are you using for title, who are you using for escrow? They're writing that into the offer and getting all the information they need directly from Loida to be able to write up a more presentable offer and that's more favorable to the seller, right? And that's really one of the best ways to do it. Some people will say, well, I can't get a hold of the listing agent, they don't answer the phone. Well, email them, text them, send them a video, do whatever it is that you can to get as much information from them as possible. Another thing you'll find is, even in this market, if you talk to the agents, especially the ones that aren't sharp, they'll divulge a lot more information than they're supposed to, and it'll give you more leverage in negotiation, okay? Aside from that, get your offer in first. The quicker and sooner you can get your offer in, the more likelihood you have to talk to them more and increase the likelihood of them seriously considering your offer. If you're working with people right now who are, well, Bryan, I need to think about it, I'm not so sure. If you meet with a buyer today, you're doing a consultation, say, look, dude, the moment a property comes on the market and we look at it, if you're not ready to write an offer on the spot, you need to wait. Now, again, I don't want to unfairly put you in that position, but it's just the reality of the market. And if you're not prepared to do that, and kind of put on your hard hat and your lunch pail like you're going to a construction job and ready to go, it's going to be difficult. And I'm just being realistic with you, because that's the last point that I'll give you before I pass it to Loida, is you need to have a very honest, blunt, upfront conversation with your buyers about these scenarios and what it's going to take for them to actually get a house. And if they're not willing to roll with it, maybe now's not the best time for you to work with them and for them to purchase a home.
And I'm glad that you're bringing all of this up. And for everyone that's watching, I just want you to know that everything that we are saying is based off of our experience and the reality of the market right now. Some of the things might not be what you want to hear if you're an FHA buyer, if you're a first-time buyer, if you're a VA buyer. We're just telling you what we're seeing and what we're going through and what other agents and colleagues are telling us. So along with that, I'm glad that you brought up the point of, you know, if a buyer's not ready to make a decision on the spot, it might be in their best interest to hold off. What I have noticed from experience, because I have been working with these first-time buyers, they have enough money for their down payment, they have enough money for closing costs, but they don't necessarily have an additional 10, 20, 30, 50,000 to come in on top. And what we are seeing is that a lot of buyers and their agents, they're just removing appraisal contingencies. They're willing to pay over 20,000 above the market value, even if the properties don't appraise. So then at that point, what ends up happening is that my buyers, my first-time buyers, are getting discouraged, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you that have buyers like this are also kind of getting discouraged. What's happening is that we're wasting our time pretty much because we're going out and showing properties. People, our buyers are interested. They're like, you know what, write it up, we'll see what happens, and we're not getting anywhere. So if you are working with a buyer like this, it might be best for them to hold off, just because right now it's way too crazy. You're not gonna get anywhere. It's gonna be you going showing homes, the buyer getting excited, then getting discouraged, and it's almost like a cycle that just doesn't even go anywhere. Now, along with that, another thing that I do want to mention is the communication. Just like Bryan said, if you are a buyer's agent, it's very important for you to be on top of the listing agent. That's usually what I do when I'm working with a buyer and I'm submitting an offer, because I want to find out everything that they're looking for to give my buyer the best chance at getting their offer accepted. And from a listing agent side, we want to make sure that whoever we do end up working with is someone that has actually communicated with us. The last thing we want to do is select an offer just because it looks good on paper, but the agent never answers, the lender never answers. We can never get any answers to any questions that we have, and that's just not going to go anywhere.
Or the agent goes on vacation.
Yes, we see that all the time. Agents and the lenders go on vacation or they never answer. I mean, we don't have time for that. We're here to put deals together and get paid. Our buyers get the home and the sellers move on to whatever it is that they're looking to do next. So another question, Bryan, that a lot of people say is, you know, this is my first year. I'm brand new in real estate. I have 3 or 4 buyers. I haven't made any money. Do I pretty much need to continue showing them? Like, how can I get an offer accepted because I need to put a deal together?
Like, I've been preaching from day one since I've been in the business and been on social media or doing videos, training, helping people, coaching, whatever. You guys got to go after listings. Listings are the name of the game. Right now, on that one that we just described, where she's already gotten 3 offers in like the first 12 hours of putting the home up, and probably like 10 more coming right now today, she's getting paid no matter what. Now 30 buyers might submit an offer, but only one of them is going to get chosen. Which side do you want to be on? I don't care if you're new. If anything, more power to you to go after them, right? Because you're going to go after them with more power and more desire and more energy, where everyone else is kind of just kicking back or hesitant right now because they're scared of, well, you know, the C and D, I don't even want to say the word, right? It starts with C, ends with D, on the uncertainty and this and that. The only other thing I can add to this, if you do want to continue working with buyers, is be a little bit more selective. Go after people who make more money. Go after more professionals. If you're going to market online, market to the doctor, you know, the lawyer, the high-level architect or engineer, people who are making money that you know are going to qualify to be able to outbid somebody if they have a desire to pay by 20, 30, 50, 100 grand, whatever your market is showing. Because she has one buyer, extremely qualified, right? The couple that you're showing on the weekends. Yeah. They just went to go see a property for 870. Yeah. Called the agent. They already have 11 offers and it's already going for over $1 million. Okay?
And market value is around 870. That's
let that sink in. People are already paying over 130,000 on that property. Now that may not be your market because that's here in LA, but you have to understand. So if I have somebody who's barely scraping by, can't put the money together even for a down payment, forget it. Where are they going to bring the other 100 grand to put it over? So it's a matter of knowing who to go after, and then at the same time, hey, if you have a couple buyers, have a blunt, honest conversation. Like I said earlier, weed out the ones who aren't serious and be very disciplined about building your listing-based business. If you do that, regardless of market conditions, you will do well, and it has to be the focus, even though in the beginning it seems tough and it seems like you're climbing Mount Everest, because ultimately that gives you more control, it's more repeatable, and it's more duplicatable. Right? Working with buyers, after you have 1 or 2 or 3, it's difficult. You can manage 5, 6, 7, 8 listings. Big difference.
Yeah. And going back to what you just mentioned, a thing that might help you save time is when you are looking at properties that your buyers are interested in, before scheduling them, or even when you schedule them, I would contact the listing agent to see maybe if they already have offers, when they are going to be reviewing offers, and perhaps if they can share with you what price they think is probably going to sell for. That way you're not wasting time thinking, oh, you know what, my buyer's approved for $500,000, this home is listed for $485,000. They might have a chance to get it, but little did you know that the agent already has offers for over $550,000, and they're thinking about just taking something like that. So then at that point, it doesn't make sense for you to drive out to the property, your buyers get excited, and then all for nothing. So that's another great tip that I would give you. Obviously, at the end of the day, we don't get paid until we put a deal together, and if you can save some time not driving places for nothing, then we want to help you with that.
Yeah, the biggest piece of advice I can give to wrap up the video is be selective. Not everybody that claims it or that you're working with is an actual buyer, and you need to weed more people out, because it's difficult to tell somebody, hey, now's not the right time for you, right? And if they choose to go behind your back and work with somebody else, that's fine, but you need to understand the numbers and the reality of the market. And again, you're just gonna be wasting your time. It's gonna cause heartache. You're gonna be emotionally distressed. You're gonna learn to hate this business, which it's a beautiful one if you work it correctly. And you just need to be honest and forthcoming with people. And a lot of times, because we want that commission check, especially for those of us who are new, and believe me, I was there, you wanna try to convince a buyer to buy who you know deep down inside really shouldn't be buying, and we need to stop doing that. And the way this market is, further pushes those people farther away, and you have to do it, because for every 4 or 5 buyers people think they have, they realistically probably only have 1 or maybe 2.
Yeah, and be able to identify which of the buyers that you're working with are actually serious and which ones are tire kickers. A lot of buyers right now think, you know, I'm going to get down payment assistance and I want to get into a house and I want the seller to pay for closing costs. And unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Down payment assistance is probably going to go all the way down at the bottom, especially when there's conventional cash and buyers willing to pay more than market value, waiving the appraisal, the inspection, the termite, like all type of contingencies. So definitely keep that in mind. So that's it for this video. We hope that you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to share it with someone else, give it a thumbs up. In the comments below, let us know how the market is in your area and if you're kind of going through the same situations. And with that being said, we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, peace.